The Committee on Rules hereby convenes this meeting. For the record, today's date is July 16, 2025, and the time is now 2:03 p.m. The first notice of this meeting was sent to all media outlets on Wednesday, July 9, 2025, and posted on the Government of Guam Public Notice portal that same day. A second notice was sent to all media outlets on Monday, July 14th, and posted on the Government of Guam Public Notice portals that same day. Rules of engagement: the chair will recognize a member who raises their hand to make a motion, and the chair will rule that member out of order if they have not been recognized by the chair. The Committee on Rules Director, Ms. Cameron Nelson, will now call the roll of members.
Chairperson Vice Speaker Ada.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Senator Dueñas. Speaker Blas. Senator Salas Manzanani. Present. Senator Borja. Here. Senator Calvo. Present. Senator Gumatautau. Present. Senator Lujan. Present. Senator Taitigui. Here. Senator Muñoz Barnes. Senator San Agustin. Here. Mr. Chair, there is a quorum.
Does the chair hear a motion to excuse members not present?
So moved.
Any objections? No objections. Order. Colleagues, the Committee on Rules minutes can be found on the Google Drive folder dated July 16, 2025, label 3, approval of the 38th Guam Legislature Committee on Rules minutes. The chair will recognize Senator Sabrina Salas Manzanani on the motion to approve the Committee on Rules minutes meeting for May 14, 2025. Senator Manzanani.
So moved. Motion to approve the committee minutes.
Second. Any objections? No objections. So moved. We'll now move on to item 4 of the Committee on Rules agenda. I will recognize our Legislative Secretary, Senator Sabrina Salas Manzanani, who has prepared the document tracking. And again, colleagues, these documents are available on the Google Committee on Rules meeting drive dated July 16, 2025. Senator Manzanani, you're recognized.
Hafiday, Mr. Chair and committee members, the following is the Legislative Secretary report to date. Currently, there are 40 appointments. Of these, 18 are pending and 22 have been confirmed. 39 of these appointments were submitted by Magahagan Guahan, and 1 was submitted by the Speaker of the Legislaturhan Guahan. There are 4 zone changes. Additionally, there are 3 rules and regulations. 2 of these have had a public hearing, while the 3rd has been referred with the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement since June 21st, 2025. There are 5 registered lobbyists for the 3rd quarter. Complete details are available in the Google Drive folder. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and colleagues.
Thank you, Senator Salas Manzanani. We'll now move to the next item on the agenda, sub-item B, ratification of re-referrals. Colleagues, these documents can be found in the Google Drive folder labeled 04B, legislative log items. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of bill numbers 131-38 COR through 147-38 COR? Any objections? Next is 148-38 LS through 150-38 LS, 151-38 COR through 160-38 COR, and 162-38 COR through 166-38 COR. Are there any objections? No objections, so moved. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of resolution number 29-38 COR and 53-38 COR? Any objections? No objections? So moved. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of appointments? Any objections? No objections. So moved. Session agenda. We'll now move to the items cleared for consideration of the session agenda. I'll go ahead and recognize each chair to place the bills that will be on to the session agenda. All right.
Can I make a?
Speaker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, just for the colleague's edification, reference to what I had said earlier as far as notification, we will clear all the bills, but then it'll be what bill, if you've got multiple bills, which bill do you prefer, is your preference or your priority that will be considered as one of the first bills to be heard? If the time permits, then we will go to the other bills that we have an agenda. If not, then it'll be moved to the next session. We have a very tight timeline for this session because of the organic tech activities, and we have also the budget session that's coming up that we need to prepare for. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Lujan, Majority Leader, will recognize you for placement of bills onto the session agenda. Noted, as Speaker Blas had mentioned, the priority bills and then how we'll go through on the session. All right.
He wants to blanket it. Like all 16, we're done. Yeah. We can do that. We can do that. We do that.
We'll take a 1-minute recess.
Yeah.
Committee on Rules is called back to order. So on the session agenda, we're going to now go ahead and move for, I'm going to call out the bill numbers and then let you know all what bills will be on to the session agenda. So it'll be 5-38 COR as amended by the Committee on Health and Veteran Affairs, sponsored by Joe S. and Augustine. No, I'm sorry, you're right. I apologize. That's the second list. We're going to go with the main list first. Bill number 16-38 COR, introduced by Senator Sabina Flores Perez, Telo Taitigui, Teresa M. Terlahi, Chris Barnett. An act to add a new Section 2, Chapter 2, Title 4, Guam Code annotated, relative to reporting requirements of the use of unclassified employment. Bill number 2, Bill number 17-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Finance and Government Operations, introduced by Sabina Flores Perez, Telo T. Taitigui, Teresa M. Terlahi, Chris Barnett. An act to amend subsection 1913 of Chapter 19, Title 1, Guam Code annotated, relative to the procedures for implementation of audit recommendations by agencies. 3, Bill number 30-38 COR, as amended by Committee on Transportation, Tourism, Customs, Utilities, and Federal and Foreign Affairs, introduced by Sabina Flores Perez, V. Anthony Addick, Chris Barnett, Shelley V. Calvo, Sabrina Salas Matanani, Telo T. Taitigui, Teresa M. Terlahi. An act to add a new Article 11 to Chapter 51A of Title 10 Guam Code annotated, to add a new subsection 14104Q to Chapter 14 of Title 12 Guam Code annotated, relative to establishing the Guam Solid Waste Authority Island-wide Collection Program Plan. 4, Bill number 45-38 COR, introduced by William A. Parkinson, an act to add a new Chapter 94 to Title 9 of Guam Code annotated, relative to requiring those convicted of vehicular homicide while impaired to pay restitution to the surviving minor children of the victim, and to cite this act as the Bentley's Law. 5, Bill number 48-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Education, Libraries, and Public Broadcasting, introduced by Vincent A. Borja, Tina Rose Munya-Barnes, Frank F. Bloss Jr., Christopher M. Duenas, Sabrina Salas Matanani, Shelley V. Calvo, Jesse A. Lujan, Joe S. and Augustine. An act to add a new subsection 4132 of Article 1, Chapter 4, Title 4, Guam Code annotated, relative to authorizing limited leave benefits for retired teachers rehired on contract to fill teaching vacancies. 6, Bill number 56-38 COR, introduced by Teresa M. Terlahi, an act relative to including podiatry under the Guam Board of Medical Examiners, and to adopt rules and regulations and code of ethics for podiatry by adding a new subsection 9 and amending subsection 7 of subsection 12202A, amending subsections 4, 7, 8 of subsection 1202B, subsections A, 1, and 2 of subsection 12203, subsection B1 and I2 of subsection 12205, and adding a new subsection 10 and 11 to subsection 12215A, all of Chapter 12, Title 10, Guam Code annotated. 7, Bill 68-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Education, Libraries, and Public Broadcasting, introduced by Frank F. Bloss Jr., an act to amend subsection 12107Y of Chapter 12, Title 17, Guam Code annotated, relative to the responsibility of liabilities of an academy charter school. 8, Bill number 70-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Education, Library, and Public Broadcasting, introduced by Joe S. San Augustine, V. Anthony Addick, Tina Rose Munya-Barnes, Vincent Anthony V. Borja, Christopher M. Duenas, Sabrina Salas Matanani, Shelley Vargas, Carl Calvo, an act to add a new subsection 3135 to Article 1, Chapter 3, Title 17, Guam Code annotated, relative to authorizing the Guam Department of Education to lease property within its jurisdiction. 9, Bill number 81-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Land, Environment, Housing, Agriculture, Parks, and Infrastructure, introduced by V. Anthony Addick, an act to amend subsection 12401D C 53, Article 4, Chapter 12, Title 25, Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations relative to correcting the definitions of solar HVAC contractors' subclassifications of licenses. 10, Bill number 92-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by Senator Sabrina Salas Mantanani, Frank F. Blas Jr., Sean Gumatata, Christopher M. Duenas, Vincent A. V. Borja, Telo T. Tidegui, Chris Barnett, Shelley V. Calvo, V. Anthony Addett, Jesse A. Lohan, William A. Parkinson, Joe S. San Agustin, Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Teresa M. Terlahi, Sabina Flores Perez. An act to add a new subsection 1041 to Chapter 10, Title 1, Guam Code Annotated, relative to designating the month of November as Veterans Service Recognition Month in Guam and establishing programs and activities to honor and support veterans throughout the month. 11, Bill number 97-38 LS, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Frank F. Blas, Jr., Telo T. Tidegui, an act to repeal and reenact Chapter 11 of Title 12, Guam Code Annotated, and to amend subsection 45.30B and subsection 45.40 of Chapter 45, Title 8, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the reorganization of the Public Defender Service Corporation, and to provide effective legal aid and services to persons who are entitled to counsel under the Organic Act of Guam, the laws of Guam, and the United States Constitution, and to cite this act as the Public Defender Service Corporation Act of 2025. 12, Bill number 103-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Public Safety, Emergency Management, and Guam National Guard, introduced by Sean Gumatauta. An act to amend and renumber subsection 51102H of Chapter 51, Title 17, to amend subsection 51103B4 of Chapter 51, Title 17, to amend subsection 51105B of Chapter 51, Title 17, and to amend subsection 7120 of Chapter 7, Title 22, all of Guam Code Annotated, relative to authorizing the temporary certification of peace officers and to authorizing the Manpower Development Fund for certification courses required by the Guam Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. Bill number 13, Bill number 106-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by William A. Parkinson. An act to amend subsection B of subsection 60.80, Chapter 60 of Title 8 of the Guam Code Annotated, relative to prohibiting plea deals without reasonable proof of victim notification. 14, Bill number 110-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Sean Gumatauta. An act to add a new Chapter 16 to Title 5 of Guam Code Annotated, relative to codifying the Criminal Justice Automated Commission. 15, Bill number 124-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Child Welfare, Youth Affairs, Senior Citizens, Women Affairs, Disability Services, the Arts, Culture, Historic Preservation, and Agatna Restoration, introduced by Telo T. Tidegui. An act to amend subsection 403N of Chapter 4, Title 1, Guam Code Annotated, relative to changing the official name of the municipality of Asan to its name in the Chamorro language, namely Asan Maiina. 16, Bill number 125-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Sean Gumatauta. An act to add a new subsection 70133 and renumber it to existing subsection 70133 to subsection 70134, all of Chapter 70, Title 11, Guam Code Annotated, relative to expanding housing availability by authorizing the Department of Revenue and Taxation to issue temporary business licenses for dwelling units that meet inspection requirements established by a certified home inspector licensed by the government of Guam or an inspector certified by the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the 16 bills on this first half. Do I hear a motion to accept all 16 bills?
Motion to accept all 16 bills.
Any second? Any objections? No objections? So moved. Nominations for the session agenda considerations. The appointment of 1K Calvo to serve as a member of the Civil Service Commission Board of Commissioners. Appointment of Leilani R. Flores to serve as a member of the Guam Land Use Commission. Appointment of Rosemarie Azuzu Morales to serve as a member of Civil Service Commission Board of Commissioners. Appointment of Ronald C. Pangilinan to serve as member of Guam Land Use Commission. Appointment of Joseph A. Rios to serve as a member of Guam Land Use Commission. Can I hear a motion to accept the 5 appointees for the session agenda consideration?
Motion to accept.
Can I hear a second? Any objections? No objections. So ordered. So moved. On the second listing, we're going to have the second listing of bills, and once again, as the speaker had mentioned, you please place your priority bill that will be for this session agenda, and time permits, then we'll go ahead and move forward with the additional listing.
This is just a simple question. As the speakers mentioned, there's 15 of us, 15 bills. If it's possible, if the bills can be listed based on the senator's name, and then you start with that, and then everybody else will follow on the second round. And if it's in that order, it makes more fairness. Just something to consider.
Can you repeat that, Senator?
Okay, as the bills are listed, like for example, you just go down alphabetically, every senator, they're all listed, their bills, so that not anybody has 2 or 3 and somebody doesn't even get his one in. You do the first 15, then on the second round, it'll follow the same category, and if there's not 15, if not, the rest of us don't have bills, but somebody has 3 or 4, I'm good with that. If they're like Senator Tello, if she has 3 bills, take my 1 slot, no problem. We're good. And then we just go with that flow. And it makes sense because then it's all in fairness, like you mentioned. Everybody's got a bill, second round. Everybody's got a bill, and if you don't have a bill, then you can't say anything because why? It's given to the senator that has a bill, and it just flows. That's all I'm asking, if it's possible.
I'm amenable to that. We'll just bring it to the body.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, and that was what we did the last session, where we prioritized the bills. Every senator had 1 bill that went on, and then if you had an additional bill, and we had the time, and no other senator had anything for that bill, then you could put your bill onto that senator's slot with that senator's agreement. So every senator who has a bill will be able to at least have 1 bill heard during this session, and then time permitting any additional bills, then you'll be able to have your bills also heard. Okay? So now I'll be reading off the second list, and then we'll go ahead and have a motion to accept the second list. So this list of bills will also be added to the agenda. And again, once again, so there's no misunderstanding that your first bill will be your priority bill. Each senator will have at least 1 bill to have on this session agenda. And if one of our members does not have a bill and you have another bill that you want to present, then you may ask that colleague for their slot. Okay, on this set, we have first bill 5-38 COR as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by Senator Joe S. San Augustine, an act to amend subsection 7120.2D1 of Chapter 7, Title 16, Guam Code Annotated, relative to veterans' license plate designs and recognitions. 2, Bill number 12-38 COR as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by Teresa M. Terlahi, an act to reserve lot number 2417R1R7, the former Department of Public Health and Social Services main building in Manila, for immediate use by the Department of Public Health and Social Services, and to authorize its use for the Guam Community College Nursing Program. 3, Bill number 21-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, an act to transfer lot number 2417-1-R7, Municipality of Manila, formerly known as the Department of Public Health and Social Services, Central Headquarters from the Department of Public Health and Social Services to the Guam Community College for the construction of a nursing annex. 4, Bill 24-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by William A. Parkinson, an act to add a new Chapter 98 to Title 10 Guam Code Annotated relative to emergency contraception for survivors of rape. 5, Bill 31-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by William A. Parkinson, an act to amend Chapter 7 of Division 1, Title 10, Guam Code Annotated, and to add a new N to subsection 9302B1 of Chapter 9, Division 1, Title 26, Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations, relative to expanding operations for assisted living facilities. 6, Bill 76-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by Frank F. Blas Jr., Sabrina Salas Matanani, an act to add a new subsection 2104.1, Article 1, Part 1, Chapter 2, Title 20, Guam Code Annotated, relative to emergency care immunity from liability. 7, Bill number 84-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Joe S. San Augustine, V. Anthony Adams, Sabrina Salas Matanani, Shelley V. Calvo, Jesse A. Lujan, Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Christopher M. Duenas, William A. Parkinson, and add a new S to subsection 3101, Article 1, Chapter 3, Title 16, Guam Code Annotated, relative to adopting military certifications as qualifications for Guam Shelfers License. 8, Bill number 97-38 LS, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Frank F. Blas Jr., Tello T. Tidegui, an act to repeal and reenact Chapter 11 of Title 12, Guam Code Annotated, and to amend subsection 45.30B and 45.40 of Chapter 45, Title 8, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the reorganization of the Public Defender Service Corporation to provide effective legal aid and services to persons who are entitled to counsel under the Organic Act of Guam, the laws of Guam, and the United States Constitution.
Mr. Chair, this bill has already been dispensed in the first.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Save some saliva for the next one.
Thank you, that first speaker. If you see anything else that you guys can just let me know, please.
Thank you.
Bill number 99-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, an act to add a new subsection 3118, subsection 3118.1, and subsection 3118.2 of Chapter 3, Title 16, Guam Code Annotated, relative to authorizing the Department of Revenue and Taxation to enter into driver's license reciprocity agreements with foreign countries. I think this is 10 now, right? That we're going on to? Yeah. Annie. 9. Bill number 100-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by Sabina Flores Perez, an act to amend subsection 1102, Chapter 1, Division 1, to amend subsection 2407F of Article 4, Chapter 2, Division 1, amend Article 1, Chapter 12, add a new subsection 101.1 of Article 1, Chapter 12, add a new subsection 80110 C11 to Chapter 80, Division 4, add a new subsection 86105E to Chapter 86, all of Title 10, Guam Code Annotated, add a new subsection 3102.1 T to Chapter 3, amend subsection 16104.1 to Chapter 16, add a new subsection 31108H to Chapter 31, all of Title 17, Guam Code Annotated, and to amend subsection 2102, Chapter 2, Title 7, Guam Code Annotated, relative to increasing awareness and strengthening early childhood development by expanding Guam's early child care and education system. 10, Bill number 123-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, introduced by Teresa M. Terlahi, an act relative to including physician's assistants on the Guam Board of Medical Examiners, updating prescriptive authority for physician assistants, and adopting rules and regulations and code of ethics for physician assistants by adding a new 10 and 11 to subsection 12215 and amending 12101R7 of subsection 12202A and 7 and 8 of 12202B, subsection 12203A 1 to 4, subsection 121602, subsection 121604, and subsection 121609, all of Chapter 12, Title 10, Guam Code Annotated. 11, Bill number 139-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Child Welfare, Youth Affairs, Senior Citizens, Women Affairs, Disability Services, and the Arts, Culture, Historic Preservation, and Hagåtña Restoration, introduced by Shelley V. Calvo, Teresa M. Terlahi, William A. Parkinson, V. Anthony Atta, Vincent A. V. Borja, Sabrina Salas Mantanani, Joe S. San Agustin, Tina Rose Muñoz Barnes, Sabina Flores Perez. An act to add a new subsection 13321.1 and 13321.2 to Article 3, Chapter 13, Title 19, Guam Code Annotated, relative to establishing the Foster Care Bill of Rights, and to cite this act as the Foster Care Bill of Rights Act of 2025. Bill number 149-38 LS, introduced by Teresa M. Terlahi, an act to amend subsection 7160E and subsection 7161F, Chapter 7, Title 16, Guam Code Annotated, relative to waiving veterans' license plate fees. Bill number 153-38 COR, introduced by Senator Tello T. Taitigui, an act to amend subsection 4102 and section 4104 of Chapter 4, Title 3, Guam Code Annotated, relative to modernizing precinct realignment and composition of the precinct boards. Yes. Bill number 154-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Tello T. Taitigui, an act to amend subsection 3102 and add a new subsection 3102.1H to Chapter 3, Title 3, and amend subsection 3103.3 C1 of Chapter 3, Title 16, Guam Code Annotated, relative to requiring documentary proof of United States citizen to align Guam voter registration practices with federal election integrity standards. 15.
So for 155, it's as amended by this committee.
Okay.
Do you want this one?
No.
Because the committee doesn't want it.
Okay, I'm sorry. So on board. Let me see that one. So we don't have a 155?
Yes, 155, but the committee here is this county here.
Oh, okay. Bill number 155-38 COR, as amended by the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Elections, and Retirement, introduced by Tello T. Taitigui, an act to add a new Article 3, Chapter 1, Title 19, Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations, relative to adopting the rules and regulations for the adjudication of victim claims, attached hereto as Exhibit A. Those are the 15 bills that we have on the second list. Can I have a motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
Can I get a second? Any objections?
Objections.
No objections, so the following will be the appointments also added to the list. The appointment, Minakish V. Hemlani, a member of the Guam Solid Waste Authority. Jeffrey D. Kosaka, member, Guam Regional Transit Authority Board of Directors. And Corazon R. Montellano, member, Guam Solid Waste Authority Board of Directors, will be added also to the second list for the consideration of the body. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second? So moved. Ladies and gentlemen, we have placed both first and second listing as once again. Every member will have at least one bill on the first listing to have on this session, and then as the speaker had mentioned, he will work on to prioritizing your second bill if time permits, and we considered that also on session. Being that we are just going to be limited on this session, it will be the 28th to the 31st, as August 1st will be the 75th anniversary of the Organic Act, and we will be having activities here.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
you mentioned that the speaker will organize which priority
yes.
versus, I can declare which one I prefer. Because I got three, it's Bill 70, which deals with DOE. That'll be my first priority. Everything else can be whenever we can catch up.
Yes.
All right.
Also, I want to make a comment that whatever bills that we do not address in this session will be moved over to the next session, to the September session. Remember, the August session is specifically and only for the budget.
Okay, and the reason why I bring up 70, because it relates and it impacts the budget, just for information purposes.
Understood.
Okay, thank you.
Understood. So in the difference, Mr. Chair, I would suggest that because there are just us here and there are other members that are not members of the committee on rules but have the bills, I will give you until tomorrow morning to provide that priority list so that it can be, that will be the order of placement in the agenda. Your primary and then your secondary.
Okay.
Okay? If you do not have a primary or secondary or bill, that's not your slot. We will go then in the order. Okay?
Are we good with that, Senator Snagastine, on your, as the speaker was mentioning?
Your primary and your secondary, if you've got more than that. No problem.
Okay.
Okay?
All
So
right.
just make sure that it gets to my office.
Does the chair hear a motion to adopt the session agenda?
So
Motion
moved.
to adopt.
Second? Any objections? No objections? So moved. Extension of remarks. The chair now opens the floor for further discussion. Any member wants to have any remarks? Senator Tiger.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I just want to know the status in Committee on Rules. What is the status on Bill 119?
We have to check with the Committee on Lands, and then we'll have to check with the Committee on Lands. Okay, and then I'll get back with you on that.
Okay, so it's not on, okay,
Yeah.
I thought it might have been on the website and missed. Okay,
Okay?
okay, thank you.
Any other member?
I'm not sure if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I just wanted to make note that I'm having a confirmation hearing for Melanie Manjola to serve on the Guam Memorial Hospital Board of Trustees. That'll be held tomorrow, and I plan on moving to add it to session agenda.
Okay.
We will work expeditiously to get
And that way we can move it on to and have it posted prior, right?
Right, yes.
Right. Any other remarks?
Mr. Chair, I don't know if we didn't have any, but I just wanted to inquire, were there any resolutions prepared for this session?
No resolutions were prepared for this session.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to clear that because that's normally an agenda item. So
Yes.
On the record now, there are no resolutions prepared for this particular session. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other member? No other member?
Motion to adjourn.
Does the chair hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Wait, not yet.
Oh.
It's good. Mr. Chair, in this committee, as the Committee on Rules, there were some resolutions that were passed. And one of the resolutions, I think there was an error in it where there was a section of allowing the timeline from 15 minutes to 10 minutes. And then it was stated earlier that there's another section that that 15 minutes will be allowed for the author of the legislation to be able to speak. However, Mr. Chair, after reviewing again, that's what I was concerned about, that there is no such area in the standing rules that allows the author to have that 15-minute timeline. And then everyone else gets 10. So I don't know if making an amendment to it by allowing that, but it's just something I want to bring to the committee's report, and in the meantime, I guess it's the discretion of the speaker.
Yeah, and I believe that is the discretion of the speaker, and he has
To
always
allow?
had 15 minutes opening for the members on their bills.
Okay, so
To
if we're
address
not
their
going to
bills.
make an amendment to
Yeah.
that resolution, then I think we can make it clear here during this meeting for the public that they will be allowed that 15-minute leeway, the author, at least the author, to allow them to speak up to 15 minutes.
So that would be recognized in session that the speaker will allow 15 minutes for opening of each member's bill.
I will recognize that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So there are no other motion to adjourn? Second, hear any objections? Okay, the Committee on Rules is hereby adjourned. The time is now 2:45. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.